This is not dethatching. This is scalping. This is not what you want. Look at all this that came out of there. It's a lot of alive grass. What's up guys, it's Tony with ForeMoney. On today's episode, I'm going to be using this Greenworks Dethatcher that I found in the trash. Let's do it. What thatch is, it's kind of dead grass, leaves, twigs that end up at the base of the grass. You see all this, it's kind of like brown stuff here. This is thatch. And if you have a yard where you don't pick up the grass clippings too often, you're gonna have a ton of it. And I'll show you that in a little bit. What a dethatcher does is it's a little rake that kind of skims the top of the surface and kind of gets a little bit below the grass, like what this rake would do. There ain't much of it because like I said, I do bag my grass. But what a dethatcher does, it's gonna get a little deeper than what this does. You still have to use this at the end to pick up the thatch that the dethatcher picks up to the surface, but you don't have to break your back using this. And you don't really want to use one of these rakes. This is more for moving like mulch and dirt and stuff. So the bottom has these little tines. These little tines are what scrapes the grass, okay? This wheel moves in this direction. This does not collect the thatch. All this does is bring it to the surface so that you can come back later and rake it with that rake I just showed you. You don't ever want to go backwards with this dethatcher because then you're going to be putting some pressure on these tines in the reverse direction and you're going to ruin these things. These things are spring loaded. You don't want to go the opposite direction because you're going to break either the tines or the motor itself. Okay, you see how it's going like that? The motor only turns in one direction, okay? I'm gonna slow it down so you can see the tines. This is why you don't wanna pull it backwards. If you do have to go the other way, you should turn it on its wheel and then keep going. So it has 3 height settings. The first setting is when you're moving the dethatcher around. I guess that's when the tines are the highest. It's called low base. And then the setting 2 is when the dethatcher is approximately 1/8 of an inch off the ground. And setting 3 is the dethatcher is 3/8 of an inch off the ground. Press the button, pull the latch, and go. So you're gonna get some grass that's recently clipped from the yard I just cut. Okay, let me show you this here. So some of this grass is the grass that I just finished cutting, and here are the clippings. The clippings have not made it down to the bottom of the grass yet. You give it enough time, these clippings will make it all the way down to the bottom and become thatch. Now the dead grass you see in here is the actual thatch that was there before, okay? At the end, you're gonna have to go use the rake and pick this stuff up. Depends how deep you wanna get. That's because I have it on the high setting. If I were to go even lower, it would really scalp the grass. All right, now what happens if you leave the dethatcher too low and too long in one spot? I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So if you have the tines set too low and you go over an area too much, you can kind of see that it's scalped it, right? This is all you're seeing is pretty much these roots here, right? This is not dethatching. This is scalping. This is not what you want. Look at all this that came out of there. It's a lot of alive grass, right? I'm pretty much cutting the grass with the dethatcher. That is not what you want to do. You don't want to do that, okay? That is a big no-no. So you can actually use a rake to do the entire yard if you don't have a dethatcher. This dethatcher, also known as a power rake, just makes it easier. So you don't have to spend so much time raking. You just use it like a lawnmower, come back and rake it up and throw it away. All right, I've got some thatch here from that little pile of 1/2 of my yard. And you would notice that a lot of this is green, okay? And it's not because the dethatcher is pulling out grass that's alive. I cut my grass this morning, so a lot of the grass that didn't make it into the grass catcher ended up in the grass and it would have become thatch. Best time of the year to do it is right before the growing season or while the grass is actively growing. You don't want to do it during the dormant season like in the winter. The thatch actually acts as like a protective layer on the grass, so you don't want to take too much of that out because you want to protect the ground and the grass during that dormant season. All right guys, so that's basically it. Thanks for watching this video. If you got any questions, leave them down below. I'd love to chat with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.